Oh, hi, it's your girl Alora, and I want to talk about this question, namely that despite having an amazing support system, when you're single, you feel like you have no one because you're not anyone's priority. My credentials, I'm 33, I'm a late bloomer. I started dating my first ever boyfriend in January of this year. So I have been a single person for the majority of my life, okay? Like the 99% of it. In the past, when anyone has ever asked me what is the hardest part about being single, also for non-single folk, this is not a question to ask your single friends, okay? We don't want to talk about this. This is for like when you're having those really in-depth heart-to-heart with someone close to you. This isn't for everyday conversation. Like in a social context, the last thing a single person wants to talk about is the fact that they are single unless we bring it up for emotional support. I digress. Back to this. Whenever I brought this up to like my very best friends, I always said the hardest part about being single is the fact that no one prioritizes you. And this doesn't mean that people don't love you or adore you or make space in their lives for you. But this is the situation, okay? Even say my very best friend, she's married, she has a kid, okay? So her priority list, and this is totally normal, fair, expected, her husband, her kid, her parents, her siblings. I'm at the end of that list, right? I get the leftover time that she has available. And I treasure that time. Do not think me ungrateful. The same with any of my siblings or even my parents. Anybody who I have a relationship with, I treasure the time I get with them. But it does not change the fact that when you are no one's priority, those people, as much as they adore you, do not wonder what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. They do not make a plan with you at the top of, is Alora going to be available to be a part of this plan? They're not planning vacation, holidays, spare days, regular days with you in mind. I just bought my very first house. I'm living by myself for the first time. It occurred to me that my boyfriend is the only person I talk to every day. So if God forbid something were to happen to me, even though my friends and my siblings and my parents check in with me every few days, every other day, it would take a while for them to realize something was wrong. If something were wrong. Another example, a lot of my siblings, I'm the oldest of 10. The majority of my siblings are either married or in relationships. A lot of times we'll spend the night at my parents' house for Christmas Eve, and then we'll wake up together on Christmas morning. And there was one Christmas morning a few years ago where we were all gathered around the tree. All the couples were coupling, and they have mound of presents for each other. And God bless my parents, even though I am so like they should not be worried about making my Christmas special. They do. They always get me some things. And after Christmas was over, but my little pile of presents is not the same as like the heaps of gifts my siblings were giving their significant others. Totally normal, to be expected. But one of my sisters asked me, at the end, she was just making conversation, but she was like, "Alora, what'd you get for Christmas?" And I told her, I was like, "Oh, my favorite gift is this," which we grew up very poor. So when we were kids, we were told, you don't know how someone else's holiday went. If someone ever asks you what you got for Christmas or for your birthday, just tell them your favorite thing. You don't need to go through the whole list. You don't need to make someone else feel bad, vice versa, whatever. So that was my response. And my sister was like, no. I want to know everything you got. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to talk about it. And I made a joke. And she was like, no, seriously, tell me. And she was just excited. But I finally snapped at her and I was like, listen. It makes me feel like shit listing the gifts I got, even though I treasure that, mom and dad thought of me because I don't have a partner. You have a partner who just spoiled you and you're so blessed and lucky for that. But I don't have someone that prioritizes me like that. And that's okay. I didn't want to make her feel bad, but I needed her to understand that I don't have this person prioritizing me. I never have. And at the time I was like, I never will. So this is painful. You're putting me through pain by doing this. And it doesn't matter if you are a late bloomer or not. If you've been single for any period of time, you know what that feels like. You know what it is like getting the leftovers of the people in your lives, time and attention and affection. It's not that we're not grateful for that. It's just that prioritization, that someone wondering how you factor into their day, checking in on you, making plans around you. That's different. And if you're a late bloomer, you've never had that. If you're someone who's single, it's still painful. And it is, without a doubt, to me, the hardest part of being single. And I have tried making this video so many times because it almost makes me sound ungrateful for the love and attention I do receive from my family and friends. And I do treasure that. It just doesn't change the fact that when you have never experienced being prioritized in that way, or you still haven't been prioritized in that way, or now you have had that once and now you don't because you're single, it's just different and it's hard. And there's not a clear answer for it. But this comment, it hits me right in the feels. Two final thoughts. One, there's a really great video by Alyssa, who I'm gonna tag in the caption of this video, who did a video talking about this same point, that the prioritization never being someone's priority and why that is and what it feels like. She had a great video, hit me right in the feels. Give that a listen if you want to dive deeper. Point two, for people wondering, if you've just watched this whole video, how do you think of your single friends? How can you make them feel included in your life? By doing just that, thinking of them, checking in on them, and just asking what they're doing with their day. Try to include them in plans. Like, don't wait for a single person to reach out to you if they're in your life and you love them. Like, also initiate, like being on the receiving end of someone initiating attention, platonically even, it means the world to me. It means that someone thought of you and they want to include you in their life. Those are ways that you can help. And again, singleness often is not something we want to talk about, who we're dating, how dating is going or not going. Unless we bring it up, we don't want to talk about it. Those are ways you can help.